Hello, 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 and welcome, brilliant women of the Empire Master Course. I've just hit myself live here, so I'm just going to go ahead and do my little bit of checks. Okay, awesome. So people are seeing me. Welcome, Sabrina. Welcome, Melissa and Shalise. And thank you guys so much for the happy birthday wishes. Yes, if you guys were not aware, today as we're filming this live, it is Monday, March 13th, and it is my 37th birthday. I asked a little cousin yesterday at dinner, that we had like a family dinner, and I asked them how old they thought I was. And they said 26. And so I was like, very close. So ladies, who is ready to get this awesome class started today? I know I am. And I don't know if you guys peeped my Instagram just a moment ago, but because this is my birthday, I have my own little party going on my side of the camera. So I'll give you guys a little peek at some of my like birthday goodies that I wasn't sure if I was going to like really do this on camera, but you know what? I'm like, we're all like mature women, like we treat ourselves, or we should be treating ourselves. We know hashtag self-care. We deserve to celebrate our victories in life, our successes, our dreams, and taking steps towards those things. So I made sure to get myself some fun goodies for today, and I decided I was going to pop them open on screen. So I have my favorite bottle of the Bubs, okay, of Champs, the Bublé, and I've got my favorite little coupe glass. It's like it's iridescent. Isn't it so cute? I got these at Home Goods or Home Sense. One of those. I don't remember which one, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And as a very extra surprise, not surprise for myself, like it was just a treat for myself, I bought myself, I actually had to order these online. I ordered myself like a whole set of caviars. So I have one of them with me today. And so we can go ahead and, do a bump of the caviar on camera. Actually, I really want to pour this. I'm sorry. We're going to have a little bit of a party first, and then we're going to get into the teaching. And I know these classes, it is my highest intention that these individual classes will only be about an hour each. But today's class might be a little bit longer because we're kicking it off, right? So salute, everyone. Tell me what you're drinking. Carol says I would join you, but I have to process payroll this afternoon. I know it's a little early, you think, on a Monday, but it's my birthday. I work for myself, ladies. This is my life, right? Okay, and I have to dig into this caviar for anyone who's like a caviar enthusiast like I am. It is in Osetra. So I'm really excited about these guys. Ooh, come on, guys. I don't want to break you. Very gently, very gently. For anyone who doesn't know, the way you're supposed to eat caviar, well, when you first taste caviar, it's kind of like when you're tasting wine. So you're supposed to smell it. And I'll tell you, this has a really like nutty flavor. In no way, shape, or form does this smell like fish. Just a very nutty flavor. It almost smells like I just opened a box of cashews or something. Okay, and then what you're supposed to do to test it, right, is you're supposed to take this little bump, okay? It's called a bump, is what they call it, which I know that kind of sounds like other things. And you put it on the back of your hand here. Oh, so lovely. And you just kind of lick it off. That's so interesting. I haven't tried this yet. It tastes very much, what would you say that is? It tastes a little bit like, it tastes like sushi. It tastes like raw fish. It tastes a little bit like smoked salmon. Yeah, it's really good. Definitely like a special little thing to have. I have a few other kinds of caviar too that I bought in the kit. So I'm excited to dig into them. But I'm such a big fan of seafood. I'm such a Pisces. And now my little palate cleanser. Always best to drink a brut with caviar, they say. These are caviar and champagne tips with Miss Trenchcoat today. Okay. I haven't even had coffee today, ladies. I'm just going on pure water. Pure water and adrenaline. I ordered this stuff offline. There's, not this stuff, like the caviar. The caviar came offline, off of a website online. There's like tons of different ones. La Mer is where I ordered this from. But there are other, I know there's like a million other delivery websites where you can get caviar delivered, because I mean, I know I could probably find some around me somewhere. Maybe, I'm sure there's some specialty food stores, but I'm just like, I'll just order it. And it actually came like the next day. It was kind of bananas how quick it came. They like expressed it to me. So very exciting. Okay, ladies, let's go ahead. I'm going to get myself settled now for our masterclass today. I'm going to just pull some things up on screen. You guys are hearing me well, right? The audio sounds good. Video looks good. Everything good. And if you hear, I hear him coming, Mr. Sully. A moment before we went live, the doorbell rang. There must have been an Amazon delivery. And he was sitting right here. He was perched right next to me, as he usually is during class. Are you going to come up here with Mommy? Are you going to come up? Or are you just going to watch me for a little bit? Okay. He might sit in his little, he has a little, I call it his cuddle cave underneath my desk. But there was a ring at the doorbell. He ran out. He was bark, 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 bark. And I'm like, oh, I hope that settles down. Oh. Who used to say champagne wishes and caviar dreams? Robin Leach, is that who it is? From Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous? Is that what it was, the show? It was champagne wishes and caviar dreams. I think that's what it was. Okay, so everything is sounding good. You guys are telling me. Thank you so much. Okay, so ladies, Empire, the Master Course. This is a 6-day course that we're going to be doing over the next 6 days. That you guys are going to have access to all the replays and things like that. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you registered to get the emails with the direct links and to get access to the Empire Master Course dashboard. So I'm actually going to organize this entire class onto my website so you guys have access to it. So it's nice and organized. And there's also some really fun free goodies. I made some free inspirational wallpapers. You guys may have seen me sharing those on Instagram. You can grab those over on the dashboard. So if you're not yet registered for the masterclass and you want to follow along with us, you want to get the replays, you want to get the goodies and anything else resource-wise that I may end up adding to this, because haven't fully decided everything I'm going to put into this. But anything I do add to this free business training, you guys will get if you're registered and you've got that dashboard. So that link is down in the description. But I just wanted to get that out of the way, okay, before we jump into this masterclass today. So I'm so glad that you made this decision to say yes to this valuable experience and training that we're about to embark upon together. Okay, so like if anyone's popped on, who has just kind of popped on, I see the numbers going up, so I know there's more people filtering in. If you didn't know, today is my birthday, and I really wanted to do something really fun to celebrate my birthday with my community. And a little bit like a hobbit, you know, in The Hobbit and like Lord of the Rings, the hobbits on their birthdays, they give other people gifts. Well, this is kind of like my gift to you guys for being such an amazing community for me. I really wanted to put together a really unique training on a topic that has been so important to me and has changed my life and my lifestyle and my quality of life, right? More than anything ever has. And that topic is starting an online business, right? So today and for the next 6 days total, I'm going to lead you in a conversation and a training. And these conversations and trainings are meant to help you get clear on your path to entrepreneurship. Too many women out there know they would like to start a business, or at least they have a very strong inkling to do so, but they don't take action to make it happen because they believe that they can't do it. They believe lies that they tell themselves, that they don't have the time, they don't have the skills, they don't have the know-how to start a business. So they shelve the desire inside of themselves, hoping that it'll go away. But of course, it never does go away, does it? In fact, the desire usually grows stronger and stronger the more we try to deny or ignore it. Because I believe that the desires in your heart were put there for a reason. They are the things that your subconscious mind knows are the things you really want and need to experience in your life in order to find a sense of purpose and fulfillment. And so often, women are modeled this idea that we need validation from the outside world, that we need to be a good girl and do what we're told instead of following our own intuition and instincts. But let's be clear that listening to what others are telling us are the safe career options or the stable lifestyle is an illusion. We know full well from our experience in the last few years during the pandemic that playing it safe with our career, working for others, being loyal to a company, that doesn't always pan out. Working hard for someone else and being loyal to what you're told to do, that doesn't mean that you're going to be safe and secure and have a job at the end of the day or at the end of the week or at the end of the month, right? There are no guarantees in life, except, as they say, death and taxes, right? Those are the only two definites. And I just did my taxes actually this past weekend, which is always fun. So if there's no guarantees in life that working hard for other people is going to give you the security and stability and consistency that you desire in life, then why not go after your dreams? There's no solid, concrete, guaranteed path in life, right? That's being prescribed by others. So why not just follow your heart, right? Like go after your dreams. You know, they say that the best time to start a business was like 10 years ago. And then the second best time is right now. So now is your time to say yes to fulfilling the calling inside of you. Of course, if you're someone who has this calling, I'm speaking right now to the ambitious women in my community who really feel like they've wanted to start a business. Maybe they've been thinking about it. Maybe they've been tinkering. Maybe they started little things, but they're still playing it small and they're still playing it safe and they're not really ready to step in fully and commit fully to this entrepreneurship lifestyle and this path that's available to them. And because of that, they're not getting the results they want, right? They're not fulfilling themselves, you know? Who of you spends time during the day, maybe like scrolling Instagram or Pinterest, you know, pinning pictures of like that entrepreneurial lifestyle that you really deeply desire to have? But instead of using that time to take action on your business, you're really just in this fantasy mode, right? Or how many of you have been researching for weeks, months, years at this point, the business that they are interested in starting? Right? Or trying to figure out what that business is. They don't know exactly what the business is they want to start, but they know they want something. And you just keep researching and you're stuck in this research mode. Well, over the course of this program and this master course, we are going to discuss this topic in greater detail and from a variety of angles with the intention that we are going to shift some things in your mindset so that you're able to actually choose and get started now, not a month from now, not a year from now, not 5 or 10 years from now. Get started right now so that you can start making and laying that foundation for that dream business that you've always desired to have, right? So we're going to have these 6 very important conversations about whether you should be starting a business and what goes into this process so that you can get the clarity that you need to decide if this is something that you truly desire to move forward with. And if starting a business is truly what you desire, right? It's not just some shiny object that you're seeing outside of yourself. If it truly is, I want to give you some amazing strategy this week to help you begin developing your plan of action for building your business online. And I want to be really clear here at the outset of our time together that yes, I have something that I want to offer you through this master course. I'm hosting this free event to celebrate and spread the word, not just about my birthday, but about an offer that I have for those of you who do decide that at the end of this training together, yes, you do want to start a business. And yes, you want my guidance to do so, right? So specifically, the offer that I have for you is a very special bundle of Empire Building, which is my signature online business and digital marketing course that shows you step by step how to build a business. And it provides the lessons, activities, and guidance to help you start and grow your business online. This offer for Empire Building is unique because I'm bundling Empire Building with a few other business programs of mine. So it really gives you a whole lot of information and strategy and actionable bits for you to use throughout this process of getting your business started and even after it started. This is a very generous discount that I'm offering with this bundle. So Despite now that the fact that I have something that I want to offer you at the end of the master course, I do not intend to actually spend very much time talking about the offer itself and trying to sell you on the offer, right? If you've been in my world for a while and you're one of my OGs, as we say, you know that I'm not a hard seller, right? It's my intention that I'm going to deliver you massive value this week through these live classes together and the replays, right? And that by the end of our time together, you're going to know whether or not you want to start a business and whether you want to use Empire Building's framework to help you save time and energy on that path. Because that is what a program like Empire Building does. It shows you what all your options are. It lays out the path of what you need to do, right? Helps you find the choices that are right for you, make those choices, and helps you build out each of these individual elements and assets of your business. That's what it does. I can't give you a business in a box, right? I can show you what it is that you need to do to build the framework and get it all together. And that will take a tremendous amount of guesswork out of things for you, right? So if you're stuck in the research mode, always looking, what's the best strategy? What's this? What's that? I'm going to give you the strategy and I'm going to help, coach and guide you through the course work that we're doing in Empire Building. Okay. So that is what we are going to do. So if you want to know more about the offer right now, it is going to be linked in the description of each of these classes. And it's also linked at the very bottom of the master course dashboard page, right? Right. So if you just found me and you don't have access to that master course dashboard page, there's another link in the description of this video as well where you can sign up to access it, right? It's a free resource. I'm going to have this entire master course organized with any of the other resources and other freebies that I'm sharing this week, right? So definitely go ahead and sign up. I've already talked about this. Sign up for the dashboard page, right? And on that page, you're going to see more information about, checking out Empire Building if you are interested in that, right? So that is all the housekeeping that I have to kick this training off with. Now we can go ahead and jump into the topic for today's class, which is entrepreneurship. So you're going to notice that as we go through this program that each class is themed to a topic that is one of the letters in the word empire, right? So today we are covering entrepreneurship, which is the first E of empire. Specifically, what I want to talk to you about today are 3 topics. Of course, I'm going to be open to you guys asking questions as well at the end, but these are the 3 topics that I've come prepared to talk about today. Number 1 is why women should be embracing entrepreneurship in order to live a life of time, location, and financial freedom. Number 2, why starting your own business is actually easier than you probably think it is. And number 3, how choosing entrepreneurship improves not only your own quality of life, but it also serves the world and improves the overall economy for others. Okay. And I know all of these factors kind of go into like limiting beliefs that women have about business. We're going to be talking so much this week about limiting beliefs. They're going to be woven in to every single discussion we have, right? So that is what we're talking about today. So who is this conversation for specifically? I want to lay out a bit of groundwork for who this training has been created for specifically. Hopefully you fall into one of these categories. And because if you do fall into any of these categories, you're going to find that you get the most from this conversation and from this master course. And if you don't fall into one of these categories, I want to say you are still very welcome to remain and listen and to see what you can learn. Just be aware that if this doesn't sound, if the parameters for who this class is for doesn't sound like you, it may mean that parts of this conversation start to trail off for you, right? Or it means that you're not going to maybe fully agree with certain things. Certain things may not resonate with you strongly, right? And it may just be because you're not 100% in alignment with who this training is created for, right? But that doesn't mean that you can't still get value, and it doesn't mean that you don't get to participate, right? I'm totally welcome for everyone who is respectful and totally engaged with this conversation. So this training was specifically created for 3 groups of women. First, I created this for women with careers who felt like they're too creative for a 9-to-5 job. Perhaps your passions in life lie in creative or artistic fields, right? But you chose a non-creative field to work in because you didn't want to end up in that like starving artist zone. You know what I mean? There's this limiting belief out there that like the starving artist, right? If you're an artist, if you do artistic things, You're not going to make money from it, right? So a lot of us play it safe and go into a normal career, right? But we really truly desire something that really taps into our creativity, right? So this is actually the group that I actually believe that I was in when I first started my business, right? I was and am a creative person, and my corporate job was just not enough for me. I have always been that person that other people see as having it together and being a creative problem solver, and just I always had creative endeavors. And so many people have told me over the years that I should just start my own business, that even coworkers in my 9 to 5, right, the corporate job, used to tell me that they thought I should really just have my own business. They didn't understand why I was in the corporate job, right? So if that sounds like you, that you are in the right place. And if you are, I want you to put number 1. Just put the number 1, spam number 1 in the comments for me if that sounds like you, right? Someone who wants to have a more creative job and you're not really finding that career in the corporate world. Okay. The second group of women that this training was created for is the mom who wants to earn an income and have the flexibility to care for her family at the same time. So maybe you're a working mom already and part of your salary is going to childcare, and you just are thinking that, like, maybe if I just start a business, right, that might be a better career solution for me because I can watch the kids and grow my business at the same time. Or maybe your kids are older, but you still want to spend more time with them, right? They're getting more active. They have more things going on in their lives. You want to focus more on your home and creating this lovely space for your family while also bringing in an income, right? I don't have kids personally, but the idea of being a homemaker who also makes money is another reason why I wanted to start my own business, right? Or perhaps you're a stay-at-home mom already, but you want a business so that you can bring in some extra money and express your creativity at the same time, right? Being a full-time mom is hard. I'm pretty sure it's been scientifically proven at this point that being a full-time mom is having like at least 3 full-time jobs, right? I think that's right. But for some stay-at-home mothers, right, as much as they get fulfillment and joy from being with their families, there is still something more that they desire, right? They want some stimulation in their lives, some intellectual creativity, right? Something that helps tap into their passions. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Your kids cannot check every box for you in your life, right? So if you want to start an online business to share other parts of yourself with the world while still taking care of your children, this conversation is also for you. So if that sounds like you, I want you to go ahead and give me a 2. I'm seeing a bunch of 1s right now. So I know I'm in good company right now. Okay, so but if that sounded like you, the mom who wants to be able to be a homemaker and have her own business, something that she's doing that's for her and for bringing in income for her family, give me a 2 in the comments. And the final group of people that this training was created for are the ambitious goal-getters, right? Who know that they could be earning more money if they start their own business. So if you're someone who's like a natural salesperson or a natural leader, someone who has things to say and passions that they want to explore in the world, but they're feeling limited by their career prospects, you may need to start your own business, right? This is America. If you want to hustle, you will be rewarded. Unfortunately, so many ambitious, powerful women find it hard to fit into corporate structures because they don't have like the arbitrary education requirements, or they want to shake things up in the world, right? So that doesn't really often fit with a corporate mentality. So if you feel like you have a lot of ambition, but you don't feel like you're in a great job situation or don't have amazing career prospects, this is another sign that you may want to start a business and you're in the right place today. So if that sounds like you, go ahead and give me a 3 in the chat so I know who's here. So I've got some 2s as well, and we've already got some 3s. Awesome, ladies. I just love knowing who is here so I can, really read the room, and make sure that I'm speaking to the right people, right? So we know you're in the right place if you fit into one of those categories. And so now I want to take a moment to introduce myself and to give you a little background on me and my story and journey to entrepreneurship, if you're someone who is new to me. Now, my OGs, I know you've heard this story probably many times before, so I'm actually going to try to tell it a little bit differently and a little bit briefer, but I think it's important for you to have context for how I got to this point in my story as a business owner. And also at this point in the story, I'm going to take a swig. So drink some water, drink some coffee. I have some water too. I also have my gigantic jug of water. Okie dokie. So For those of you who are new to me, hello and welcome. My name is Alexis, but I'm also known as Miss Trenchcoat all across the internet. I just love that I'm doing that. I help ambitious women plan for a balanced and successful life and business by creating content, tools, and resources that help you get your big thoughts, plans, dreams, and ideas out of your head and onto paper so you can get down to business, creating your dream life. So I've actually been in business for nearly 9 years online, full-time, as a solopreneur, right? So that means that I do not have a team. It is just me and some really great ideas trucking away behind a keyboard and a camera. All in, I have built a community of over 150,000 people worldwide who follow me across multiple platforms. I wrote and self-published a best-selling book on productivity and planning last year. I live in the Northeast with my man and my little Yorkie Mix, who is my baby. Come here, Sally. People want to see you. The people would like to see you. He is here with me. He's always my sidekick, my little assistant teacher. Would you like to say hello to the charmed ones? Say hello, charmed ones. My name is Mr. Sully. His name is Sultan, but we call him Sully. And he's wearing his favorite green hoodie today for Mommy's birthday. Okay. Yes, you can go back down. So, like I said, I've been doing this for 9 years. And if you guys go back in my channel history, I've been on YouTube since 2009. So you guys saw me go from career girl, right, to full-time entrepreneur. And it boggles my mind that it's been 9 years. Like, I know 100% there were people who, when I announced that I was going full-time for myself, they're probably like, oh, she'll be back in a job in 6 months. Nope. That's not what happened. 9 years later, I'm still here and I'm swigging champagne on a video call with you guys. This is like the glory of the internet. So, you might be curious to know a little thing about me, which is that my handle, Miss Trenchcoat, that's a handle that I used to use in a video game many, many years ago. And it ended up becoming like my online alias, like my handle. Back when people didn't really share their real identity online, everyone had like a screen name, right? So I've been online for a very, very long time, right? I still call myself Miss Trenchcoat because it's just so hard to shake it, you know? So I started fiddling around with digital marketing back in 2008. So I started my first blog, it's now totally defunct, after I graduated college in 2007 and I couldn't find a job because, you know, you remember 2007 and 2008, the financial crisis slowed the economy. Fresh out of college with a double major in art history and political science made me unemployable for like a whole year, right? So fresh out of college, I actually graduated early with a double major. It's so funny. I couldn't find a job, right? So to help me fill my time, I started a blog. And it's so funny to think about back on this now. But when I started my blog, I was like romanticizing the idea that I was like starting my own publishing business, my own online publishing business. It's so funny from this blog. And this was seriously a time where that didn't happen. Like, we didn't have influencer marketing back then, right? That didn't really exist. I didn't have any points of reference for what starting a business from a blog would even mean or what that would look like. I just knew that I wanted to write and be creative and share things. And so I started my blog with this intention that it would one day something would come of this, right? And let me tell you, 22-year-old Alexis would be like so freaking excited if she could if she knew that only in a few short years, you know, after graduating, she would be starting her own business. And if she could see us now, like, she would be flabbergasted, right? So I spent, like I said, a year unemployed after college. And thankfully, my father and my grandparents paid for my college. So I didn't have any loans. I was so lucky and blessed that my family paid for my college. I didn't have any loans. So for the first year, I blogged, I did temp work, right? I was in a temp agency and they kind of put me in different places. And I started my YouTube channel early in 2009. And I really liked creating content. I really liked playing with the online platforms. They were making me exactly $0, right? In fact, they were likely costing me more money, right, to be doing it. But I really loved it and I didn't want to stop something that I felt like was a really great creative hobby, right? So I fiddled with my platforms. I switched my blog up a few times. I joined Instagram in 2011. Yes, I did scroll all the way back to see when it was. And I continued to create content pretty regularly for a few years before I ever saw any money come in for my effort. So I was sent some free things to review on my blog and on YouTube, but I didn't end up making any money from any of this, okay? Until I got my first check from Google, from YouTube's partner program for about $100, because the minimum for them to cut you a check is $100, right? And that was in July 2012. Again, I only know this because I had to scroll all the way back on my Instagram and I posted a picture of the Google, of the Google check. And I was like, my first Google money, YouTube money, right? Like I posted a picture. So that was July 2012, okay? Starting in 2008, 2012, I finally made some money from this, okay? So I know what it's like, right, to work on something for years and not have much to show for it, right? But I also know that really up until 2012, I consider that like my tipping point. I was pretty much dabbling online and had no real understanding or plan for how I would be making money from what I was doing. Back then, online business was a much more niche topic than it is today. You could find some resources online. You absolutely could. And I did do that, right? I read The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I followed Pat Flynn's Smart Passive Income blog. With the variety of digital marketing and entrepreneurship that those guys were modeling didn't fit me and what I wanted, right? I wanted a 4-hour work week, but I didn't want it the way that Tim Ferriss had prescribed it, right? So it wasn't until 2012 that I really came across examples of women in online business in a way that really related to me and spoke to what I wanted to do and create. I think I found Gabby Bernstein first. She had this program that she was selling about like running a spiritual online business, and it cost like $2,000. And I considered signing up for it, right? Because I really wanted to like learn more about like what was possible in the space. But ultimately it didn't feel like the right fit for me because I wasn't so into the spirituality aspect, right? At that point. Now I'm like, oh yeah, I should have taken that course. I'm thinking about it to myself now, like looking back. Then I found some other resources that I ended up signing up for, like other like course things that I signed up for called Blog Academy that was run by some lifestyle bloggers that I followed at the time. And then another program called Blog Shop that was run by a blogger, and it taught you how to do Photoshop for bloggers. And this was happening in 2013, right? So 2012, I had this like shift that I really had to start taking this seriously, that I really wanted to create my own job. And then in I sought out these resources, and then in 2013, I did them, right? And then you'll see what happens in 2014. Spoiler alert, I left my job to go full time for myself. But I'm sorry. Okay, I'm like following along with this like very haphazardly made outline. Okay, so I did Blog Academy, I did Blog Shop. I started taking things seriously. I wanted to add in here too, because I forgot I didn't add this into my outline. But one of the screensavers, right, that I gave you guys, has a quote on it, which is actually like kind of like the subheading for our class, which is, "Your dream job does not exist, you must create it." Okay, here's the screensaver so you guys can see it, or the desktop wallpaper, whatever it's called. In 2012, I remember finding this quote on an image, like probably on Pinterest or something, and I actually made it my background on my computer in 2012. Because when that happened, like I literally had this feeling, this belief, right? That like, that's it. I had to choose that I was going to make this online business happen. I wasn't just fiddling around anymore. I had to choose it. Like I had to decide if I was going to do it or not. No more of this like half in, half out, dipping the toe in sort of a thing, right? Because until this point, I was just dipping my toe in online, right? I was getting great practice at creating content, but I didn't actually see a vision for what I wanted to create until I decided that I wanted to do it, until I went all in my mind first. After that, things moved very quickly to me, right? So like I said, those programs were done in 2013. And from that momentum, I made a plan that I was going to start saving as much money as I could. And I was going to get serious about leaving my corporate job to go full time for myself. And I had this wonderful background on my computer. Your dream job does not exist. You must create it. Every day I'm seeing that. And I really, really believed in it, right? And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to give you guys some wallpapers. They may seem silly, but you see these things, these messages over and over again. And it really, if it resonates with you, it really helps to shift your mindset into being like, this, whatever I'm doing right now is temporary. I have a destination I'm going to, right? And that's really what happened for me in this period of time. Okay, so then when we get to 2014, I had what I believed was enough money in the bank to fall back on in case like things didn't work out with me running my own business. And I hit this target monthly income that I wanted to make. Like I had set myself these parameters. You need to have this amount of money in the bank. You need to hit this target monthly income. And once you do, you can leave your job, right? So once that happened, once I hit that proof of concept that I could make some money, I did end up quitting my job. And at the time, I was also married, right? But I was actually the breadwinner in the household, right? So it wasn't like the easiest decision to leave my job, right? I knew that it was what I wanted, and I had made these plans with myself that like, if this and this happens, then I will do this. Like if this, then this. So once the if this happened, I had to go ahead and then leave my job, which is what I did, right? In accordance with the plan, right? And that's all part of like faith, of manifesting and things like that. If you're familiar with those sorts of concepts, I was not familiar with those concepts at the time. I am now, and I look back and I go, wow, like, hindsight is 2020, like seeing exactly how all things played out for my highest good, right? And ultimately in accordance with the plan I was creating for myself. So it was May 2014, and I left my secure Fortune 50 job where I had an expense account, and I had a company credit card, and I had a company car, okay? I left it all and I went full time for my own business. And that was we're rounding up to it, you guys. It was almost 9 years ago. And I ended up replacing the income that I lost from my salary, right? So my monthly income that I was getting from my old job in 6 months. So in 6 months, I had fully replaced the income. So that was what it took me to catch up to where I was with my salary, right? And then things just kept going up from there. So over the years, I developed new offers and product lines. Everything in my business is digital or on demand, meaning my income is mostly passive, right? I have created marketing assets and funnels that keep new eyes coming into my business on autopilot. And I've relied exclusively on free forms of marketing that I don't pay for, right? I don't pay for any ads or anything like that. I do my own marketing for free. So before I left my job to start the business, I knew that I deeply desired 3 things: time, location, and financial freedom, right? So time freedom in terms of being able to work on my own schedule, right? That was huge to me as someone who was a very competent worker in my 9-to-5 job. I was that person at my job that I could get all of my tasks done in a matter of hours. And then I had all this free time, so they kept giving me new work, right? So throughout my career at this corporation that I worked for, every time they moved me up, they generally consolidated roles behind me, which meant they moved me up to a new role, but that I still did the old role. Like they just kept giving me more things to do and paying me a little bit better, right? But they weren't paying me 2 full salaries. Let's be clear here, right? So at one point when I was there, I was doing 3 roles. There were 3 roles that were rolled up into me that I had to do for a period of time until they backfilled me, because they knew they had to backfill me. And then still for a period of time, they had someone there that I was training, but I was still taking on a bulk of that work, right? So 2 to 3 jobs I was doing for the majority of the time that I was working in this corporation, because I was so efficient, right? So, the idea of time freedom was huge to me because it meant that if I had my own business, right, I could work on my own schedule, number one. And because I was so efficient, it meant that I only needed to work in a day for as long as it took me to do my scheduled tasks for the day, right? Once the tasks were done, I didn't have to keep working, right? It was totally up to me if I wanted to do more or not, right? And that's why right now I generally only work 2 to 4 hours a day, right? Because that's as long as it takes me to do the important things I need to get done in my business every day. If I want to work more, or doing something like this master course, I am going to invest more time this week. Like I'm probably going to be working like normal full days, right? Because I've got this thing going on and I want to make it the best for you guys. It's a marketing campaign, right? So it's like something that I'm working on that's extra, right? But this isn't how I am normally working. Normally I work like 2 to 4 hours a day, and I spend most of the rest of my time with my dog or doing whatever I want to do because I can, right? So that's time freedom for me. Location freedom. That was another big one, which means that I could work from home, right? And I wanted to be able to move anywhere that I wanted to be or needed to be. And actually the year that I did end up leaving my job, it was like the same month. Like I left my job. My ex and I almost moved to Georgia for his work, right? Which it wouldn't have been on the table if I was still in my 9 to 5. I wouldn't have been able to move to Georgia, right? So he ultimately ended up not taking that transfer, and he found another job like local to us. But I love the idea. I've always loved the idea that I could work from anywhere, right? I have family all over the place, right? And I even lived at my dad's beach house on the Jersey Shore for like a couple of months one summer, right? A few years ago, I did like a whole launch during a Disney vacation, right? You guys may remember this. I was in Disney World. I did a live on Periscope from Disney World where I was launching, I think it was the Digital Styling Lightroom, a different course. I did that whole thing while I was on vacation at Disney World. And it was around the time of my birthday. I think it was like the last week of February. So to me, that was so cool, right? And, maybe my examples aren't going to like fully resonate with you, but what the heck could you be doing with your life, right? If you could work from anywhere, and you could have whatever schedule that suited your needs, right? It really is a game changer for your lifestyle, which is why I think so often entrepreneurship is presented as a lifestyle as opposed to just a career choice, because it completely changes how you can live, right? And then finally, the financial freedom aspect of this. Who doesn't want financial freedom? Now, I want to say that when it comes to me, right, the financial freedom that I'm looking for, I'm not talking necessarily about becoming wildly wealthy from my business, although I am totally open to that, right? And so universe listening, I'm totally open to you sending me millions of dollars and making me wildly successful, right? And that's absolutely something that is possible for you when you start your own business. But for me, the financial freedom was more about there was no limit to what I could earn if I was willing to work, right? Like I mentioned before at my corporate job, I could do my tasks in a fraction of the time that I was allotted to do the work. And because of that, they just kept giving me more work and more work. And they gave me promotions with little pay bumps. But, I was not getting paid in equivalence with the effort and the value that I was really bringing to the organization. But by running my own business, like I said, I work 2 to 4 hours a day. But if I want to earn more, right, I can always work more, right? Or I can build new marketing funnels, right? I could do more content marketing, right? To bring in extra income, right? I am not tied to like what a company has decided is my cap for what I make in a year, right? Or for whatever the cap is for my role. As long as my work is productive and I have a job, right? And the more effort I put in, the more money I can ultimately earn. That is what financial freedom actually means to me, okay? So ladies, tell me, or at least ask yourself, what does having time, location, and financial freedom mean to you, right? Is that something that you also desire? Or do you prefer to have a job and to have that sort of stability instead, right? Where there's no wrong answers here. Like I said before, I want to help you decide if starting a business is for you or it's not for you. And it's totally valid to say that you would prefer to have a job. And, even though you could have a job and start a little business on the side as well. Like that's another option for you, right? And perhaps that is also what some of you are thinking. So it's totally valid for you to be like, nah, I think I just want to stick to a job. Or, you know what, I want to stick to my job, but maybe I'll start something on the side. Or totally valid to say, you know what, I would love it for it to be my goal that even though I have a job now, that I end up creating a business that replaces that job so I can just work fully for myself. Totally 100% valid, whatever your experience is. And I'm so glad to hear that you guys are resonating with these examples. So this is really awesome. Thank you. Okay, so do you agree with my assessment of time, location, and financial freedom, right? I personally think time, location, and financial freedom is important for women, specifically, especially women who need to work to provide or care for a family, because having a job and trying to be really hands-on as a parent has to be hard, right? Like, again, I don't have a child, so I'm not speaking from personal experience, but I have seen the juggle and stress and just the impossible choices that coworkers of mine had to make, right? Because they were moms, right? And in truth, the company I worked for was actually pretty flexible. Like many of my team members actually did work from home. And even though they worked from home though, and they had to like go see customers, I've seen female coworkers that had to like bear the weight of choices like, oh, my kid is sick and the school's calling me and I have to go pick them up. But I also have this client meeting in an hour. And then my partner is actually on a job site all day. So they can't even go to pick up the child. So I guess I have to bear the brunt of this, right? I have to be the bad guy and tell my boss that I can't make it to the meeting. Can they send someone else? Or can we have the meeting rescheduled, right? Like all of these things put like this unnecessary pressure on women. And I know that many women have partners that can help in this, but very much often, what do they say, call women the default parent, right? So when the kid needs to be picked up from school, it's you. When the kid is sick, it's you. When the kid has to go to the doctor, it's you. When the kid has soccer practice, it's you, And that really puts you in really uncomfortable situations at work. So, for me, time, location, financial freedom, it means one thing for me, but it could totally mean a totally another thing for a mom, right? And I totally understand and respect that, right? So that's why I really believe that women should be embracing entrepreneurship as a means to get more control and freedom in their lives, right? So that is, why women, I think, should be embracing entrepreneurship, right? And I would love to hear if you have, if that is something that resonates with you as well, right? That if you're, that you would love this, this idea of running your own business so that you can show up the way that you want to show up in your life and in your work, right? And why I think this is specifically important for women, because I think women have a unique place in society that, whether or not it's real or imagined, whether or not it's just a societal construct, right? We generally feel certain pressures, right? So let's see. We see a lot of people here are saying both. They have a job and stability, and they have a business and stability. Okay, awesome. Starting your own business is your goal. I've always known that is what my path should be. Awesome. You're absolutely in the right place. Someone said I'm often torn between my dreams and my anxieties. You've got some limiting beliefs, most likely, that we're going to have to tackle this week. Okay. So stay engaged with this, stay plugged in with this conversation, and we have some more to think, more to talk about even today. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, right? Like I said, 3 things today. One of them was why women specifically really should be prioritizing entrepreneurship if it's something they want to do. I'm not saying every woman needs to go start a job, but if it's something you want to do and time, location, and financial freedom is something that speaks to you, this is this is a drop in the bucket for why you should be saying yes to your dreams. Okay. Second thing I want to talk about is why it's actually easier than you think to start a business. This is a big one because I know that starting your own business seems like an intimidating and daunting task. Right? So many women have like a great business idea, but they're hesitant to take the leap because they think it's too difficult to start a business or they think it's too risky to start a business. However, the truth is that starting your own business is easier than you think. And here are some reasons why. The first reason is access to information. Thanks to the internet, there is a wealth of information that's available on starting and running a business. You can find resources on everything from creating a business plan to marketing your products or your services. There are also many online courses and workshops that can teach you the skills that you need to run a successful business, right? So that is something that's a major plus. Nowadays, it's so much easier to access information. When I got started, this information was not as prevalent as it is now. And a lot of that conversation was dominated by men who had a very specific prescribed plan for how you should start your business the way that they did, right? Like I said, the Tim Ferriss example, I think in his book, The 4-Hour Workweek, Tim Ferriss talks about like how he started did he start like a supplements company? So he started a company selling supplements, and then he hired like a bunch of VAs to do most of the work for him. That's not what I wanted to do. Like, that's not my job prospect career. Like, that's not my passion. So there was information when I got started. It was very minimal. Not a lot of women talking about business. Although there was tons of women in the blogging sphere, right? A lot of women were out there. They weren't talking about the business stuff. Nowadays, so much different. So much more information that you have access to. There's really anything you want to know, you could just Google it and you'll get a whole video tutorial on YouTube, right? Step-by-step breakdown of how to solve the problem, right? So access to information is tremendous. Number 2 is technology. The internet also makes available a wide variety of technology that actually helps running a business easier, right? Website builders, automation software, drag and drop editing, and even AI, right? The amount of business tasks that technology can actually make easier for you in this day and age is astounding. And technology is precisely why my business is able to exist and serve such a large audience, even though, like I said, I'm a solopreneur, right? I rely on a lot of different technology to help make my life easier and to automate things and to, act as like my marketing team without me having to be involved, right? And I know that technology, right, stereotypically scares women. Let me know in the comments if one of your limiting beliefs, something that's holding you back from starting a business, is maybe a belief that there's too much technology, the technology is hard, you're not good with technology, etc. Right? Like you'd never be able to figure it out. You'd never be able to do a website, technology is too hard, right? If you have a limiting belief like that, let me know in the comments. But, technology, actually, if you can embrace technology, it can be a major saving grace for your business. And you can, if you start using it intentionally, right, you're going to find that your business becomes even simpler to run than you ever imagined, right? Like so much simpler to run if you just embrace the technology. And the amazing thing is, because of the access to information paired with the technology, every piece of technology that I use for my business, you want to know how I learned how to use it? I Googled a YouTube video, right, on how to use this program, how to build a website with this, right? When I built my first website, right, I searched how to build a WordPress website, right? Like with, how to build an e-commerce store on a WordPress website. And I did, I watched a step-by-step tutorial. It was all free software. And then the tutorial was free, and bada bing, bada boom, I had a website. The only thing I had to pay for was I really wanted a pretty template for my website. So I bought one, but it was all free, obviously, other than the self-hosting, right? Hosting, template, everything else was free. And the training that I watched step by step, free, right? Technology paired with access to information, if you could just let go of the fact that you're afraid of the technology and just embrace the technology and think of technology as being like, wow, this is really helping me, right? Like right now, I'm streaming live on YouTube. I'm using a fancy technology program. I've got a couple of different gadgets in front of me that are helping me organize this. Like I've got a camera, I've got my microphone there. I've got notes up on screen. I've got my iPad here. Like I've got a whole bunch of technology assisting me in this live stream. Assisting me, right? And maybe you see other people who are doing classes and things like that online, and what they're doing is, maybe they have a team and there's someone in the comments and things like that. I'm not a team, right? I'm doing this on my own thanks to technology. So if you could embrace technology, you can go very far with a business. Now, the third reason starting a business is easier than you think is because of the low cost options that you have nowadays to start a business, right? Starting a business no longer requires a lot of capital, right? There are many low cost options for starting and launching a business, creating your business assets, and even building a team, right? You can also take advantage of free marketing tools like social media platforms, right? To help you reach your target audience without having to spend money on ads. I feel like there's this idea when you think of like the way someone runs a business, and like I have this ideal in my head, like this old model that's totally outdated of like a man who's like working really hard at his 9-to-5 and saving a whole bunch of money, right? So that he can build up the capital, and he's talking to friends and people and getting investments from people so he can leave his job and spend all his time trying to create this business that may or may not pan out for him, right? But that's not how you have to do it anymore. Like that's not how you have to do it anymore. You don't have to go all in, right, with your business. You can build it on the side. You can build little piece by piece, right? It doesn't have to be this whole production. It can just be this like thing that's on your to-do list that you're gradually building up, and you don't have to spend very much money on it. Like I treated my 9-to-5 job for several years as my financing source. It was my venture capital source for my business, right? The only reason I was able to invest in like all of the things that I needed to like build a blog and a website and be on YouTube and film things and make, take beautiful pictures and things like that was because I had a job, right? So it doesn't cost as much anymore, right? So many of us actually have a lot of technology in our pockets that you can start a business with your phone, right here. So much is right here in your pocket for you to start a business. So the options now are so much better when it comes to, you don't have to have all this financing necessarily for a business. Now it depends on what your business is going to be, but You don't need all this stuff. You don't have to have all the bells and whistles. You don't have to have all of this investment money. You don't have to go get venture capital or seed funding. I'm just like saying all the words that I can think of that came from, watching Shark Tank. You don't need those things. You don't need them, right? You can build your business slowly and surely using technology, information, use your 9-to-5 job to help you fund this, build it piece by piece, and you can build it out. Okay, another reason why it's easier than you think is because there's so much support now. Like there are so many support networks, right, that are available for female entrepreneurs specifically, right? You can join business groups on Facebook. You can attend networking events in real life in your city and to connect with other business owners. You can gain valuable insights to starting your own business just from coming to like a free class like this online that I'm teaching, right? You can seek out mentorship and programs and business coaching, right, to help guide you through the process. There's absolutely no reason why you have to start and run a business and really be alone, even if you are a solopreneur like me, right? Community and mentorship is always available to you, okay? Next, the flexibility, right? Like I've kind of already mentioned, starting your own business offers flexibility and control over your schedule. So, you can work from home, you can set your own hours, and you can choose the projects that you want to work on, meaning that you can always start your business on the side if you have an existing job. Like, you don't have to quit your job, right? Like we already said this, you don't have to quit your job. You can do it on the side. This is the era of digital marketing and online business. You can start small, you can build a solid foundation for your business and on your own time and on your own terms, and you can scale as you go, right? So you have that flexibility. And then finally, another reason that I think running an online business is so easy now is because you have a global customer base, right? The final factor that makes business even easier is that thanks to the internet, we are no longer limited to the customer base that we have available to us, like just directly in our community, right? We no longer have limits on that, right? Marketing in the 21st century truly has a global impact, right? I have customers from around the world, which means that I have so many more opportunities to sell and find success with my business because it's statistically impossible for you to exhaust your customer base. You'd have to have the most ridiculous niche to exhaust a customer base, right? Like in this day and age, there are so many opportunities to reach people, right? Beyond like traditionally you starting a business, beyond your own neighbor, your own immediate neighborhood or your city, right? You have really a countrywide impact. You could be selling to people all over your country. You could be selling and marketing to people all over the world, right? And that's actually something that I think really makes business even easier, is that you don't have to be scrounging around to find customers anymore. You have such a big audience, like a nonstop stream of audience members and potential customers, right? If you're doing the pieces right, right? So for all those reasons, I think it's actually easier than you think to start a business. In fact, I would say that now is the easiest time to start a business that it ever has been in history, right? Our unprecedented access to information and technology, plus the amount of resources and customers that we have access to, truly makes starting and running a business much more easier for you, especially as a woman with passion and drive. So don't let fear or doubt hold you back from pursuing your dreams. Take the first step and start building the business of your dreams today. It's so much easier than you imagined. Okay, so does anyone have questions? That is why building a business is easier than you think. There's so many different rants that I want to go on with this. Like I need to hold myself back if we're already at an hour and I have one more topic I want to talk to you guys about. I'm so glad you guys are finding this to be encouraging. Excellent. Oh, I'm going to have a little bit more of my Cav. Just got it sitting in this bowl of ice. Okay. Let's see. Someone said I need to increase my technology skills so I can use them. My time is limited due to a full-time job. And this is great though. If the first step is embracing technology and saying, you know what, I don't have that much time, but I want to do this and I'm open to learning the technology for my own benefit, right? Let's not even, oh my God, there's just so much to go into with this. Like AI right now is bananas, right? The possibility for technology right now is really changing the game for business owners in so many different ways, right? This is a whole nother topic of its own, but just know that your first step is to embrace the technology and say, you know what? I'm willing to learn. I'm open to learning. I'm open to getting the tools and learning how to use them so that they save me time and energy so that I can reach my goal quicker, easier, faster, whatever, right? Okay. So, last topic is, how does creating your own business improve the overall well-being of others and the economy? Well, have you guys ever thought to yourself that starting your own business was selfish, right? Or that selling is somehow a sleazy, negative, bad activity, right? If you have any limiting beliefs around selling and running a business, as though it is a bad thing, as though that doing business means that you are harming or tricking people, or it means that you're a selfish person or you're bad for not wanting to pursue a traditional job or career path, right? I want to discuss now how creating your own business actually serves the greater good for your community and the overall good of the economy. So, how does that happen? Number one, job creation. When you start your own business, right? And you reach the point where you may actually leave your job behind so you can go full-time for yourself, you are leaving a job opportunity for someone else to fill, right? So your self-sufficiency ends up blessing you, and it ends up blessing someone else who may need a job, even if it's indirectly. Even if you leave the job and they take someone else from the company and they put them in that thing, it's going to have this trickle-down effect where eventually you are helping someone else to get a job somewhere, right? Because you've created your own. You've taken yourself out of that. And so you're leaving behind a gap, right? That now can be filled by someone else. And of course, when you start a business, right? You may get to a point where you need some employees to help you run it. And this means that you're creating new job opportunities, which again, it reduces unemployment rates and it helps to stimulate the economy. You are doing the world a favor when you start your own business. The second reason why starting a new business is so good for other people and so good for the economy and is really like a blessing to the world, right? Is because starting a business increases competition. I want you to let me know if any of you guys have had this limiting belief that you want to start a business and you know the business you want to start and you know that there are so many other businesses like your business. You're like, why should I even start? There's already too many businesses in this arena, right? There's no reason for me to start a business. It's extra. There's so much. I'll never get work, like, et cetera, et cetera. Do you have any limiting beliefs around the idea that competition, right, in business is a bad thing? Actually, when you start a new business, you bring competition to a market, which can lead to lower prices and better quality products and services for customers, right? We know the idea of a monopoly. When one company has too much control, it really ends up controlling a market. So by starting a new job, a new business, right? You are actually adding competition to a market, which means that your competitors need to up their game, right? And they need to start, changing the way they're doing things. And it's not always about, people having to lower their prices, but sometimes it just means that they're making better offers to people. They're producing better quality items. They're doing better service for people because they have to up their game because there's other competition. There's other fish in the sea that people could go to. So they really have to up their game, right? So in that sense, you actually are helping your customers and your customer base within that market, right? You're literally doing your customers a service by bringing greater competition to a market that they purchase within, okay? That's so important. Like, this is the fundamentals of like capitalist success. Is the nature of competition in business means that you win as a business owner, other businesses can still be winning as well, are still winning as well. And your customers, though, those are the ones, the people who are getting the end products or services, they're the ones that benefit the most. Okay? So it's not selfish. You're literally helping, again, the economy, the customers that you serve, improve the market. The third reason is economic growth. As your business grows and becomes more successful, what ends up happening? You end up needing to buy more goods and services from other businesses, right? Which helps other businesses grow, and it contributes to a greater positive impact on the economy even further. So as your business gets more and more successful, right, you may need to get like a dedicated office space or a warehouse, or expand your operations with new tools and technologies. And again, get more, maybe bring in more team members, right? All of these purchases, investments, etc., are directly helping other businesses and your local economy, right? Your success brings good fortune to other businesses in your community and even across the globe, right? Which is such an amazing effect, right? Of you realizing your own dreams. That you realizing your dreams, you saying yes to the business of your dreams, is helping so many other people and other businesses as well to fulfill their passions and dreams as well. Next reason you're helping: tax revenue. I know people don't love taxes. I just did my taxes this weekend. I love doing my taxes. Okay, this is something where I give myself a positive affirmation. I'm the best at taxes. I love taxes. Doing taxes is amazing, right? When your business becomes profitable, obviously you need to pay taxes on your earnings, right? The tax revenue goes to support public goods and services like education, infrastructure, and healthcare, right? Which benefits the overall economy, right? I know no one loves paying their taxes, but your taxes do end up supporting and improving your community as well. So you do well, and your neighbors are doing better, and your friends and family in your community are all benefiting from your success as well, okay? Final reason why you starting a business actually helps other people is because you realizing your goals improves the entrepreneurial spirit of the rest of the world, right? Kind of like that idea of a rising tide lifts all boats. Starting a business requires innovation and creativity and risk-taking, right? When more people start their own businesses, it fosters an entrepreneurial spirit in society, which can lead to more innovation and economic growth in the long run. Like what we're doing right now, right? This very discussion, me sharing my love and passion for entrepreneurship with other women, we are fostering more innovation, creativity, and the entrepreneurial spirit just through this little like live that we're doing today, which is so cool. And I can only, in my wildest dreams, like imagine the impacts, right? The ripples of this conversation are going to have in each of your lives, right? When you start to take some action on this. And then how the ripple effect goes even further, right? Into the lives of other people that I may never actually talk to directly, right? But I've rippled you, right? You and your business affect and ripple onwards, right? What is that? The butterfly effect, they call that? Something like that, right? So I can only imagine in my wildest dreams the benefits and the amazingness and the growth and the expansion that comes from me having this conversation with you today. You taking this home and taking it to heart and taking action on it, and you changing your world changes the world even greater, right? This is really like such a big snowball effect. The more we show up to our dream life, right? The more expansive the world becomes for everyone, right? That's like the nature of the universe. It's always expanding. Like we know it's expanding, right? Because each of us realizing our potential and the things that we want and desire, right? We expand the world for other people as well. Okay? So to address the limiting belief directly, it is not selfish for you to want to start your own business. Sales and marketing is not bad. It does not hurt people, especially when it's done in integrity and out of a desire to help and serve customers to improve their lives. Starting your business and realizing that desire, bringing that to fruition is a gift that you give to yourself and also to your community and the world, right? So do not let a limiting belief like that you're being selfish, that it's not good, hold you back. It's totally not true. It is a flippin' lie. Okay? You are helping the world when you show up as your best self. There's what is that? Marianne Williamson. She's running for president again, everybody, in case you didn't know. I'm not promoting or anything. I'm just thinking she has this quote that says that by shining your light, you give others permission to shine their light as well, right? I'm ad-libbing there. I'm pretty sure that's her quote though. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. Okay? So that is the end of what I wanted to talk about today with you guys. Right? And like I said, I know there's a lot to digest here, right? I'm hoping you guys had a lot of aha moments. If anyone has any questions, please go ahead and leave me a comment. And the best way to do this is if you start your comment with the word question or Q, like an uppercase Q, then I'll know you've got a question that you want me to answer right now. And I would be happy to answer some questions for you guys right now as I sip on my water and my shams and enjoy some more of my little snacky here with my little dude next to me over here. And of course, if at any point throughout this process you feel like this conversation is amazing, it's inspiring you to start your own business, you've decided, yes, this is what you want to do, and yes, you would love to work with me, like, and work on with my framework on your business, then I definitely want to encourage you to go ahead and sign up for Empire Building. I have, like I said, there's a link in the description. I really don't want to have to read off the sales page. I don't think you guys need me to read off the sales page. I don't think you do. You guys have the ability to click on that link, read the sales page, understand everything that comes with Empire Building. It is a 6-module course, video courses with workbooks, transcripts, like activities that you're going to do in order to build out different elements of your business and to make the decisions that you have to make, which I understand. If anyone's been trying to start a business, you're like, there's 1,000 things that I have to decide. Basically, Empire Building helps you lay out, these are all the decisions you need to make, and these are the options. What would you like to choose, right? And it kind of goes into like who things would be better for and things like that. Obviously, I just simplified what Empire Building does for you. But it is 6 modules that cover the topics of branding, community, content platforms, community, marketing, income streams, and business administration. It also includes a couple of different amazing masterclasses on blogging and starting doing promotions for your business. Let me pull the sales page up right now so I can read off of it so I can tell you there's Empire Building. Let me tell you guys a story about Empire Building. Empire Building was launched in March of 2015. So what is that? It's 8 years old now. I can't even believe I've been running this course this long. When you purchase Empire Building, you have lifetime access, which means for as long as Empire Building exists, which is pretty much as long as my business exists, you will have access to your purchase. Let's see. I'm just going to open some things up. Read a little bitty off of the sales page. And I do want to let you guys know as well, the sales page that I'm sharing with you guys is a very specific one for this offer only. And you're going to know it's for the offer we're talking about today. At the top of the page, it says on sale now, but hurry, doors close soon. Maybe, do you guys want me to share my screen and just scroll through this? Let's see. I could do that. Let's see if I can do a little screen share. Where you at? Okay, let's see. Is that there? Yeah. There we are. You guys can see my screen. Here, I'm going to make my little head smaller. Okay. There you go. So this is the page, the sales page for Empire Building. Your dream job does not exist. You must create it. Yes. Start your own online business today and build a future of time, location, and financial freedom with step-by-step framework that will help you take the guesswork out of digital marketing so you can get to your first 6 figures ASAP. Just so you know, that's just I'm not saying that you're going to get 6 figures in your business, like just buying Empire Building. But what I'm saying is if you are in the 0 to 6 figures range, like you're trying to make your first 6 figures in business, Empire Building is probably better for you, right? So that's the range of where we're at. If you're someone who is trying to become like a multimillionaire, sure, Empire Building will take you to just that first step, right? But I'm not promising that you guys are like that this is the be all and end all for like multi-million-dollar businesses here, okay? So, information, la la la. Let's see. Here's what you get. Lifetime access to Empire Building, online business program, and future updates, 6 video modules with transcripts, workbooks, process, worksheets, checklists, etc. The 3 bonus masterclasses on marketing, promotions, blogging, and business planning, okay? So we've got those 3 in there. You have journaling prompts. I have a whole thing of like journaling prompts to help you get clear on what it is that you want to do with your business, affirmations, and additional business software and technology resources. There's 6 modules. These are all the modules broken out. I already kind of told you what those were. We also have in this bundle, this is what makes this bundle special, over $1,500 worth of bonuses. The first bonus is the CEO Strategy Bundle. This is a bundle of 3 business masterclasses that teach you how to manage your time, energy, and expectations as a business owner so that you can work less and earn more without sacrificing your personal life, family, or sleep. The 3 masterclasses in that bundle are the CEO Strategy Masterclass. That is my time management for business owners class. CEO Mindset Masterclass is all about we will say the spirituality, the manifestation elements, and the mindset elements that go into running a business successfully, which I know I've got someone on here right now. I'm not going to call her out, but she just had like an amazing business manifestation that she was telling me about. She's one of my mastermind sisters, and she was telling me about an amazing manifestation thing that happened to her. Manifestation mindset is such a big part of being a business owner. And there's a whole masterclass on it in the CEO Strategy Bundle. The third class is the CEO Content Calendar Masterclass. How does Alexis, one person, create so much content to market her business that creates this ongoing stream of new eyes into her business year over year? It's by having a really great content calendar strategy. And I tell you everything about content strategy in that module, in that masterclass, multiple modules. Okay. The next bonus you get is the CEO Strategy Planner. That is my best-selling business planning tool. The CEO Strategy Planner is designed to help you create your ideal creative business plan and break your annual business goals into manageable daily actions. In Empire Building, we're going to talk about business planning. We're going to talk about setting your goals for your business. CEO Strategy Planner is where you can actually go ahead and actually do the work of managing that so that you know what you're doing every day to get to your goals. And then you also have the Business Accelerator Bundle. This is something I've never given in a bundle before because the Business Accelerator is a version of Empire Building that I do live, where I do live coaching, and there's some additional classes that are involved with that. And so this is very unique, this bundle. So the Business Accelerator Bundle being added to this bundle is all about fast tracking your business development with this bundle of 3 coaching calls that discuss how I would go about starting a new business today based on what I know from years of my own trial and experience. Learn where I would focus most of my efforts, how to create your business plan and a 90-day action plan, right, with real business examples through these hot seat coaching call replays. So this has 3 more masterclasses in it that are one of them is like a whole class on like what I would be doing if I were you, essentially. And then the other 2 are like hot seat coaching calls where I'm working through action plans with real students and creating business plans with real students. I think it's incredibly eye-opening. If you need real life examples to follow, that'll be very valuable to you. What's the investment of this bundle? It's a $3,000 value, but that's not the level to which I charge, right? Because I know that the women in my community are just getting started. You may not have $3,000. Like I didn't want to throw $2,000 at Gabby Bernstein when I hadn't started yet, but I did take other courses that were more reasonably priced. So this entire bundle is one easy payment of $777, right? I don't want you to miss out on this. There is another limited time offer with this. I've never done this before. This is like my birthday gift to you guys. I'm giving you guys a 6-month payment plan option. Okay? I've never done something like this before. As a limited time offer, I'm making a 6-month payment plan available to those within my community who want to start creating their business now, but they need to break the investment down into installments. With this option, you will pay $144 per month for 6 months. You will get access to Empire Building, the whole course, upon enrollment with your first payment. However, you will not receive the other bonuses until the final payment has been made, right? So this payment option expires March 31st. So at the end of this month, this limited time offer goes away. I think the whole thing is actually going to go away. But I just want you guys to know, if you do want to get in to this bundle and you need the installment plan, I have set up an installment plan. You are required to make all of the payments in order to get everything. You're only going to get immediate access to all of empire building because I don't want to hold anything back. I don't want to have to do that. I want you guys to succeed. I know you can succeed. I know if there are women out there who are like me, who like saw that quote, like, my dream job does not exist, I must create it. And that spark, like that switch flips in your head. I know that this is going to help you get to where you need to be, right? This is going to help you do the work. It's not going to do the work for you, right? But there's work that is always involved with running a business, but it doesn't have to be hard. Empire building makes it easier for you, right? You have that framework to follow with, someone that you trust, right? Basically on call for you, because when you join empire building, this is an on-demand experience. All of these classes are all ready for you to dive into, but you also get a year of email support from me, and in the empire building website, in each of the modules, you have the ability to ask questions, and I always am going in there and answering questions that people have. So you are getting ongoing support from me. There are very few business programs that exist out there where the person who created it is actually giving you support, right? Usually it's like they have a VA or, someone on their team who's answering the questions for you, or they just give you the program and you're not really allowed to ask questions. It's just, here, take what you can get, right? Not empire building. I'm here for you to support you through this, because I know that there's going to be points where you're going to have questions and you're going to want to know how something applies specifically to your situation. That is what I'm here for. All right. So take advantage of this offer. Either the one lump sum, get everything for the $777, or if you need to invest in the payment plans, you are more than welcome to do so. Okay. We have a number of different, testimonials on the page. All right. How do you know if this is for you? If you really feel called to start a business and you have no idea how you want to get started or like what the process should be, and you want someone to help you walk you through that, that is what empire building is about, right? If you would love those expectations laid out in front of you, right, for what goes along with each of the choices that you need to make your business a reality, this is for you. If you're willing to learn and show up and do the work that needs to be done so that you can live the life of time, location, and financial freedom that you really deserve and desire to have, right? Then this is for you. If you're a problem solver, you're not a quitter, right? You're not just trying to buy this to make it your solution. You're willing to work with it. You're willing to work with the information you're getting, right? You know that with the right information, you're going to be able to swiftly move through this process and build your business. And that is who this is for. This is not for you if you run a physical in-person business and you're not interested in marketing that business online. I definitely have a lot to say about like business in general, but this program is about online business. So you either run a business online and you're marketing it online, or you run a business in real life, right? And you use empire building to do the digital marketing. For example, I have a wonderful woman in my community who is, I'm not going to say her name, but she knows who she is. She runs a knitting shop in the UK, and she has a physical in-person business. And we were working together during the pandemic. She had taken a couple of courses, and she has really upped her online marketing, right? So she's growing her email list. Last year, she did Insta Income, which is another one of my programs that's not part of this bundle. And she was able to exceed her goal for her email list last year through working through these strategies. So, if you're an in-person business, an in-person service, and you are not looking to work online, to market online, then this is not for you. I want to make that very clear. If you also believe that you already know everything about digital marketing, right? You've been Googling it, you know everything. There's nothing new you haven't heard yet, right? You're just hoping that there's some secret to success that someone is holding back from you, right? Newsflash, there's no secret, right? You either know the information and you have integrated it and you're actually acting on it, right? Taking aligned action, right? Or you're not, right? This is not for you if that is your mindset about business, okay? And this is also not for you if you're just looking for someone to wave a magic wand and give you a business, right? There's no ready-made businesses, right? Purchasing an online business course does not guarantee you that you're going to instantly have a business that appears. I wish it did, because I'd be charging a heck of a lot more for it, okay? If I had that ability, right? So that is who this is not for. You guys know me already. Lots of different feedback here. There's a bunch of frequently asked questions. Make sure you read those to understand any more nuance about the program before you enroll. And then again, you have two options to check out: payment plan or the one-time payment, right? Okay, so let's get back to my face, shall we? There I am. Okay, ladies. Does anyone else have any questions? Doesn't look like there's very many questions coming through. So, ladies, I will go ahead and I will bid adieu today. Bid you adieu? I don't know. I am feeling a little bit of this champagne, so I should probably switch to the water again. I will see you here tomorrow for our second class, right? Who's going to be there tomorrow? I'm really excited. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you found it valuable, useful. Feel free to share the video with any friends or anyone you know, anyone that might be a boss babe in your life that may want this information. Go ahead and share it with them. Encourage them to register for the master course, right? So they can follow along with you. They can also be a nice accountability buddy for you as well. So thank you guys so much for coming. I truly appreciate your being here today and your engagement. And it was so wonderful seeing so many of you, so many faces I've known for just years at this point in this wonderful community of ours. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for your engagement. And I can't wait to work with more of you guys soon. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Bye, ladies. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.